There is no silver bullet. I think that's something that has to be said to every person in IT in general.
Hello and welcome guys to yet another video of Q&A over coffee, but this time is going to be tea, or I should say Q&A over tea. And yeah, I invited another guest. I invited Nicoleta. So yeah, Nicoleta, tell us a little bit about yourself. And yeah, as I ask everybody, why do you think you deserve to be here? And why do these people, which potentially are CS students, deserve to listen to you?
Okay, so as you said, my name is Nicoleta and I have been a programmer for 6 and a little bit years.
Yeah.
While I will not say that I am a guru in any particular language or any particular technology, I do have this experience and I have something to share from the perspective of someone who has gone through this journey.
So yeah, I'm really happy to have Nicoleta on this episode, and I hope you guys will have some value out of this video. If you do find value, make sure to hit that like button, and if you're not part of this community, make sure to subscribe. So the topic we're talking about today is top 5 secrets or top 5 tips for fresh computer science students, meaning Nicoleta is trying to give you tips and yeah, secrets, things that will boost up your well, future career, if you will, because you're like in the beginning and you don't know what to do or how to do it right. That's why she will share those tips with us.
Yep.
So let's begin the topic with tip number 1.
Tip number 1,
yeah.
And that is network. Network as much as possible.
Yeah.
So when you're fresh out of computer science, you probably know mostly only the people that you studied with and maybe the teachers in the university, but you should know that there are a lot more people in the computer science community in where you live. The sooner you start networking is the better, because when you start networking, you get connections with people that will either help you learn something new or they will be your mentors. So the first networking opportunity that I used when I was just entering our local IT community was the event IT Coffee, and I think in a lot of places, well, not during the Corona time, but generally there should be such networking events in which people just come and hang out. They may be from different backgrounds, different parts of the IT community, but they just discuss topics that are like topic of the day. Whenever you have the possibility, even if you don't know a single person there, so like let's say you just started.
That's the point.
Yes, that's the point. It's just that a lot of people are afraid to go somewhere, like they don't know anybody.
Yeah, it's like they're gonna show that, they're gonna show how stupid they are in front of the others, you know? It's like that kind of feeling. Because, you know, when you go out, you talk to some people, you wanna, well, be confident that you kind of know some things and stuff. But you just end up looking like a monkey in front of the others because you don't know what they're talking about, you know?
When you are a computer science student, that's exactly the time when you can afford looking stupid, because nobody expects anything from you.
Like,
just like
another thing that I've learned from these kind of meetings was like people were talking about some terms which was normal for them, but was quite new for me, and I was like, what the heck is this? What the heck is an API? Like back then when I was a student, you know, like I participated in the discussion. I noted down the terms. And then you Googled them. They exist somewhere. I Googled them up, and there was such a big amount of information that I was supposed to like know about those terms.
Mm-hmm. So the second tip, it kind of comes from the previous one, from networking. The second one is go to internships and interviews.
Yeah.
So let's say you found these connections, or you just heard about these companies that like big and nice companies.
If you think about it, just finding the right connections can land you a lot of like jobs, internships, or future jobs, if you will.
But even if you don't, there are a few IT companies everywhere that everyone knows, like the biggest companies, and usually these biggest companies have internships. So they kind of teach you the basics of a technology, and it may not be the technology that you want to work in for the rest of your life.
But it's a good starting point.
Yes, it's a good start, because first of all, you learn something new. Second of all, you make the more connections with the mentors, with the people that you come to the internship with. And who knows, maybe you can get a job out of it. And,
even if you don't, like, my personal experience, I've never been into internships and stuff like that.
Same.
I just got the job and I was like, oh shit, I'm into programming already, you know. It's like I don't even like remember when I got the first job. It was like, you know, again, I was at the hackathon. The people out there, again, I applied the first tip. I just networked with people while, you know, drinking some coffee out there in the wild. And after the event, a company approached us and they're like, aren't you looking for a job, guys?
But also you can go to interviews to companies because...
yeah, lately, sorry that I interrupted you, like lately I treat interviews as a way of checking my knowledge, you know?
Yeah,
let me see if my level is like, you know, right. And I just go ahead and check out myself and I realize I don't know this, I don't know that, and then, you know, just go ahead and Google it. And it's, I mean, you can accept 100 interviews and still work for the same companies.
Yeah, you
like,
can...
It doesn't matter, like you just go ahead and, you know, check yourself. You don't necessarily need to go to the internship because internship usually, you know, takes time, like a couple of months. You could just, you know, pick up a couple of interview questions, make sure the company, I mean, yes, the internship will walk you through that path, like a smoother path, if you will. But if you just want to get the job like very bad, like if you're desperate, you want to get the job, just make sure if you're a nerd who studies, make sure you study the questions for the interview, prepare for them, and yeah, nail it.
Yeah, don't be afraid to go to interviews and internships because people generally, they are not bad. They are not out there to get you or to prove that you're stupid and you will never work.
Yeah, they're not mean, they're just trying to, you know, get out the most juice out of you, you know, just to check out what kind of a person they will have to deal with.
They usually will be kind after that. They will
after that they will even laugh or joke about the way they interviewed you.
Well, they will most likely tell you that, okay, maybe you're not good enough. You may not have the exact requirements that they write in the, like, we are looking for this person with these requirements. But if they feel that you have potential, they may hire you or give you like a trial period to learn that technology. So don't be afraid to go to internships and interviews.
Yes, always check them out.
Okay, so tip number 3.
Yeah.
There is no silver bullet. I think that's something that has to be said to every person in IT in general. But it's quite often that people, when they start in their journey, and they start usually with one technology, it's not like you start out with every technology imaginable.
That's like mind-blowing, the amount of tech people require you to know.
Yeah, but you usually start with one language, and usually with like maybe one framework in that language. And it's quite easy to fall into this hole of thinking that this is the best technology and the best framework ever and nothing is better than that, and everybody that says
until you try something else.
and everybody that says something else is wrong and you have to prove them wrong. Usually what will happen I think a lot of people went for that, but usually what will happen is simply that after some time you will understand yourself that that was not the best approach.
You'll understand how stupid you were that you claimed yourself as being XYZ developer when you're actually just solving problems using that solution, you know?
Yeah, and it's also possible that you will change these technologies as time goes. So from my personal experience, I started out on the JavaScript, although in university I thought that I was going to write in Java. But then something went wrong.
Then jobs.
Then the Fire Nation attacked.
Also, speaking of the silver bullet thing, is like everybody's journey will be different. What worked for you may not work for me or for somebody else, you know? It's just like, you know, plants. They grow differently at different times. And
okay, so the 4th tip is be humble.
Yeah.
Be humble in pretty much everything that you do in this job, because you at no point will know everything. Nobody at no point will know everything. It's quite often that people, when start studying something, they learn it and they start working with it and they feel like, okay, I'm comfortable with this technology. I'm doing very well. I must be a genius with this technology. I know everything about it. I can teach it. I'm the guru. And they don't listen to anybody else. They think that, okay, I'm just the best. There are 2 concepts that I very much like that describe this thing. One of them is the Dunning-Kruger syndrome, that for people that think they know something better than they actually know it. And the second one is the expert beginner, which is a term that I really, really like. Yeah, that's the kind of the person that they stay in the thing that they are learning, and they think that they know better than everybody else, most likely because they don't have anybody to compare it to, or they're afraid to compare it to. You should be continually learning. That's the thing about IT. It's not something that you learn once and then use it for the entire life.
Game, like lifelong learning game, if you want.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you have to be humble regards to yourself, and to also listen to other people. Do not think that it's kind of bad to ask for somebody's advice. No, it's completely okay. You should not put your ego before your learning. The fifth tip is you will always have some kind of problem, and you always will have room to grow. So it's normal to feel like you don't like this project. It's normal to feel like you don't feel comfortable in this company. It's not guaranteed that you will start working in IT and afterwards everything will be sunshine and rainbows. It's not going to be sunshine and rainbows. You will have to go through a lot of stuff before it kind of starts to resemble sunshine.
Yeah, like if
rainbows.
you don't feel uncomfortable, it means you're not growing. It means you're comfortable with whatever you already know.
Yeah, but also, you know, when you see people telling that, okay, go into IT, there's going to be a lot of money, you'll be able to work from anywhere.
The BS people fall for, like...
Yeah, but, and I kind of understand the disappointment that they might have if they find out that it's a job like any other and there's problems like in any other job. Yeah,
they do pay you like a decent amount of money, but that's
but also
that's
not right
not
away.
In the beginning.
Not right away, yes.
Yeah, like in the beginning you have to work your ass off like very hard before you get to that level where you can start negotiating things and, you know, getting a higher pay.
Yeah, so and it's not only about the salary. You may not be okay with the project that you're working on, but know that this is not an eternal thing. It's not like somebody chained you to this project and you have to work on it till the day you die. You will change projects, you will change technologies, you will change companies, people that you work with, your salary will also change, so everything is going to change. So if at any point you feel that everything is bad, then don't despair, it can get even worse.
Have a little bit of patience. And
no, it will be better.
Very nice encouragement. Right away from being a student to getting a job, like you might think this is finally the Google that I wanted to work for, you know, maybe. And you realize, you know, you're not being paid that much, you have to learn constantly. It's like a regular job, as you said.
Yes, and that is only the beginning. So if you keep at it, and if you keep learning, if you keep working, and you feel at some point that you're not growing as much as you want, you can just switch jobs. It's like with jobs in general, with careers in general. Nobody is telling you that whatever you choose from university is your destiny in life and nothing will change it. You can always change careers, just like you can always change the languages that you write in.
Languages are just tools. You realize that later on, like
I'm working at something bad and I don't like my life and I thought it's going to be different, and I think, at least, I don't know, from your perspective, I've had these moments. I have multiple moments in my life like this.
Moments when you feel like stupid, you constantly compare yourself with others, with like
all the time.
Yeah, like are you even good at what you're doing? Should you even like consider switching? Especially in the beginning, you'll have lots of thoughts like, am I even a good fit for being in this industry at all? Because, you know, I'm not growing fast enough. All right, fellas, so I think that was pretty much it on this episode. Thanks, Nicoleta, again for joining us, and thanks for sharing those 5 tips on, or 5 tips for fresh CS students. I think there are a lot of CS students watching this channel, which means they may take some value, they may take advantage of what you share with us. So yeah, yet again, if you liked this video and found anything useful, make sure to hit that like. Make sure to subscribe and also make sure to follow Nicoleta. I'll link everything in the description, and we'll see each other in another episode of Q&A over coffee or tea, who knows.
The beverage of choice.
Yeah.
Yes, and I really hope that you find this information useful at whatever part of the journey into IT you are. And take it from me, it's very interesting and it's gonna get even better for you, whichever project, company or people you're working with.
Yeah, so Again, ladies and gents, that was Nicoleta. That was pretty much it on this episode. So we'll see each other in the next video. Peace.
Wait, it looks like I'm shooting myself.
Peace. You know. Hello and welcome, guys, to yet another video of Q&A over coffee, or I should rather say tea over coffee, because today we're drinking tea.
Tea over coffee?
Hello, and you were supposed to shut up.
Okay.